certainly the best.
African masquerades originated thousands of years ago, with evidence pointing to the Fulani people in West Africa or the Tsili in Jare region of Algeria around 8,000 years ago. They serve as deep spiritual, social and cultural institutions, often representing ancestors or spirits retiring to the living to provide protection, enforce laws, and maintain order. In many African societies, masquerade courts were established by male elders for entertainment, electrify the community, create fun that promote love and oneness among others. This masquerade, the community ties rope on their waist in order to guard the masquerade for peace during performance. Masquerades function as intermediary between the living, the dead, and the deities, often appearing at funerals and to ensure bountiful harvests. Masquerades are used for entertainment during festivities, traditional festival, and to celebrate the rich cultural heritage.
Cô bắt càng dầm trên bên đó, chứ càng dầm chưa?
bay hả? Không ngoài ở nhà ai đi bên này. Có xe anh mo bo so ndo ma ga ni ke ta so na ya na Manonya le yo ta kan na ji o de ni me na ko ke ni ko do me ti ti ni we Amiga. Ona bo to da ba ke afi ko ta. Hey. Somebody is having sex. Hey. Ona.
ITV, certainly the best.
Top on the list of the initiates was the eldest son of the Esama of Benin and former governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Nosakare Igbenedion. 11 of his siblings, namely Bright Ayamekwe Igbenedion, Honorable Charles Osenwige Igbenedion, Peter Osawari Igbenedion, Dr. Fred Osanwi Igbenedion, Barrister Mike Osarene Igbenedion, Efosa Douglas Igbenedion, Upoma Ernest Igbenedion, Osawe Igbenedion, Edosa Igbenedion, Dr. Daniel Omorige Igbenedion, Agbon Steve Igbenedion, as well as the Executive Director Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Ugbeide Nwonse. It was a vital aspect of Okada community's cultural heritage, which emphasized the significance of age, responsibility, and community service. Over 50 notable sons of Okada were also initiated. According to tradition and customs, those initiated, dressed in white traditional attire, were made to undergo some rituals, while the Odionwe pronounces blessings on them and assisted them to take a seat with the elders.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV.
Certainly the best.
I thank you so much for joining us on the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adisawa Sawage, and today on the program we want to look at prioritizing yourself as a woman, prioritizing yourself as a woman. Suffice to say, let the woman breathe. You know, a lot of women do so much more than they can handle, and just because they are women, they just keep going. A woman can be doing 5 things at the same time. She multitasks, and at the end of the day, what does she get for it? Sometimes nothing. Other times she may be rewarded, and all of this most often in time goes without commendation. And this is telling on the woman. In this 2026, a woman should breathe. Just because a woman is a wife or a woman is a daughter, a woman is just a woman, does not mean she should be a beast of burden. So that's what we want to talk about today on the program Woman to Woman. I already have Favor Eniye Omorege in the house. She is a nurse, a pastor, a counselor, a lecturer at the College of Nursing Sciences, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. And she's a woman you want to meet, particularly when you need that person to talk to you about something you don't really want to let out. But she's one of those few persons that you can talk to. They promote you now, so good.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Nice being with us this evening. Happy New Year once again.
Okay, thank you. And hopefully Dorcas will be able to join us via Zoom. We're trying to fix 1 or 2 things right now. Dorcas Onoga is a counselor, a PR practitioner, and she's going to be joining us via Zoom from Benin City. All right, Favor, let's go to our topic now. You know, prioritizing yourself as a woman, let the woman breathe is a lot. So, how does prioritizing oneself, what does it mean to you as a woman, prioritizing yourself?
When we talk about prioritizing ourselves as women, it's talking about you putting yourself first, you know, acquiring some importance to yourself as a woman, seeing yourself as very, very important. Important enough to be first than being second. So when we're looking at prioritizing yourself as a woman, we're looking at you setting boundaries, having limits to care for yourself before you look at any other thing or any other person. Putting yourself first at every point in time, irrespective of what the society says, what the people around you says, put yourself first as a woman. Consider yourself before others. Even the Bible says that you should love your neighbor as yourself. So love yourself first. Before you talk about your husband, before you talk about your children, before you talk about siblings and the society.
Okay, will that not make a woman look selfish? Because the kind of training that most of us got is this fact that you should take care of your family when you're married, you take care of your children, you take care of the husband, you take care of the in-laws, you take care of everybody around you, and then you now end up being the last person on the list. So how can a Nigerian woman, we're in Edo State, Nanabe, so how can a Nigerian woman, an Edo woman, put herself first? Because we often put others first, like you rightly mentioned, before ourselves at any cost. No matter what, you put others first for. So what are the things we should do specially to make sure that we put ourselves first? How can we do that? How can we achieve that?
One of the things we should do as women to put ourselves first is, first and foremost, you should have time to rest. Have time for rest. Set your priorities. You know, when you arrange activities that you have, which suits you best? Okay. You know, don't always look at the one that suits A first, or what will others say. No. avoid perfectionism by all means. You know, women would like to be perfect, doing everything in a perfect way. No. What suits you? What's okay with you? Not what Mr. A thinks. Not what other person thinks about you.
But you know, we strive on that issue. We listen to what people say.
Lord.
What will people say? What will society say? How will society judge us? How will the church judge us? You know, things like that.
Very well. In this new year, I want to beg us as women, if we must set ourselves as priorities, then look beyond what people say. Whether you like it or not, people will definitely talk. No? So, knowing that people will definitely talk, you should consider yourself before considering any other person. All right? How do you do this? Set your boundaries. Have, you know, timelines on what you want to do, how you intend to achieve them without unnecessarily pressurizing yourself. Don't put yourself under any pressure in your 2026.
A lot of women have set that boundaries you've been talking about.
Okay.
A lot of women have. And a lot of women will continue to set that boundaries. But it gets to a point in that woman's life that that boundaries they have set, they cross it over by themselves. They shift it aside. And it is because of what will my in-laws say if she's a married woman? What will it's like society have kind of set these invisible rules that a woman follows stricto sensu. How do we deal with the issue of society? And how can a woman, like, just dust your ears, grow a thick skin? It's easier said than done.
True.
You know, easier said than done. So how can a woman set that boundaries for herself, ignoring whatever the society is going to say? It's even your husband that will judge you first.
Abi.
It's even the husband that will
Very
judge
well,
first.
it starts from the judgment starts from the house,
See,
from the home.
When did all this one start? You know, so how can that woman set that boundary, hold it and own it, and say, look, this is boundary, this is me time, don't cross it?
Fine. One of the ways to set these boundaries and own it is, you know, delegate duties. It's not compulsory you must do it. Okay. What's important is some of these things should be done. It's not compulsory, it has to be you. Delegate duties. You know, learn to allow other persons do some of these things that
what
you
if
think
you don't have those other persons to do those things? What do? You know, like in some homes, some men would never accept their wives to have maids.
True.
All right?
Very well.
So how can that woman delegate? Before you answer that question, let's quickly meet Dorcas. Dorcas, how are you doing? Hello, Dorcas.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm sure you can hear me now.
I can hear you very well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me on the show today.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So we're looking at you and I as women, how to prioritize ourselves first, because we are used to putting every person first before ourselves. We'll think ourselves last. A woman is sick, and some other persons are sick around her. She wants to deal with those that are sick first before she remembers herself. She usually jettisons her own self-care. So what does prioritizing oneself mean to you as a woman, Dorcas?
As a woman, prioritizing yourself, it will give you the atmosphere for growth, to give you the space for grace, not pressure. It means creating the mental, emotional, and physical space for authentic development. This isn't about isolation, but about intentional honoring yourself, making yourself comes first. Prioritizing yourself, making yourself to know that these are the things I should do, and set boundaries for yourself, just as the first guest has said. It makes you to establish a non-negotiable thing to work with. It means practical strategic withdrawal for certain things that drains you. It means reclaiming your narrative about things. Don't listen to what people have to say, but what you think is best for you. Making yourself comes first. Make yourself
a huge
come
question.
First. Yes.
How can we stop listening to what people say?
How can we let people?
Yes, how can we, you know, build ourselves to stop listening to what people say and just do things that is good for us?
You see, in this life, if we want to do things that pleases people, you will displease yourself. The boundaries are the limits you set to protect your energy, time, emotions, and value. They are not words to keep people at, but gates you control, letting in what serves you and filtering out what drains you. So for you to be able to set boundaries for yourself, you have to have self-awareness. Who are you? What are the things that drains you? What are the things that energizes you? So it's not left for you to decide which to follow. If you want to prioritize yourself, then you go for the ones that energizes you. So how do you feel? Do you feel resentful? Whatever it is, if anybody is crossing your boundary, how do you handle it? So when you are able to identify your core value, then you'll be able to protect what matters most to you as a woman.
Well, will that not be like you're being selfish? Because in trying to create time for self-care and own your own space, focus on those things that energizes you, and then discard all of those that drain you, would that not look like the woman is being selfish and self-centered?
No. Setting boundaries is self-respect and not selfishness. You have to recognize the fact that you cannot pour out from an empty cup. You have to be full for you to be able to fill others. So prioritizing yourself gives you that room to be able to develop yourself and make yourself full before you can put into others, because you cannot fill from an empty cup.
Okay.
You understand? So you cannot fill from an empty cup. So you have to be full yourself. You want to understand that healthy boundary actually improves our relationship. So with that, you have to set that boundary that gives you that atmosphere to create healthy relationship.
Okay, thank you, Dorcas. All right, and let me come back to you now. You were going to give me an answer to the question I asked. So how do we do it? What are the tips? What are those secret things you need to tell us today on how to, because you are talking about setting boundaries. Dorcas is saying setting boundaries, discard all of those things that drain you, concentrate on positive energy and all of that. So how do we achieve it? To say it is so easy and cheap, you know, without sounding like a motivational speaker, how do we get it?
One of the ways is pamper yourself, as simple as it sounds. Pamper yourself.
Okay.
You know, give yourself a treat. Rather than always be self-confidence. Be confident in yourself, to know yourself well enough to know when you have gotten or you are approaching your boundaries. You know, sometimes when we are talking about these setting boundaries, we do assume that we have done our boundary setting and we go crossing it. Why? Because we don't even value ourselves. When you add some little value to yourself as a woman, you will for sure want to keep yourself healthy, want to be fine. You know, if the best way to be there for others is to first be there for yourselves, for yourself rather. When you are there for yourself, you are strong enough to wage others when they need your support. But if you are not strong, you've not taken care of yourself, then you are going to be as good as a very weak pillar with that strength. So strengthen yourself from within first. By so doing, you'll be setting for some very beautiful boundaries. And also, another thing is take out time to rest. Take out time to sleep. Take out time to drink water. Take enough fluid. Address yourself. Be well. Go for medical checkups. You know, all of these. By so doing, you are setting boundaries. You are helping yourself so that others will not cross your boundaries. If you tell somebody by 10 a.m., this is what I do, this is my schedule, and by 10 a.m., you don't want disturbance, put your phone on flight mode. Another challenge that we have as women is our phones. You know, you can say you are setting boundaries and you're always on the screen, you know, chatting, sending messages, and the person you told you had boundary will be wondering, I see my wife that says she's setting boundary. She's been online since morning. I bet mother come and cook Joe, you know, and all of that. Why? Because you've not respected your boundary. Respect your boundary. before you start looking for others that are going to respect your boundary.
Okay, we'll take a very short break here. When we come back, we'll continue and, of course, end the show. Just stay with us. Something was just going through my mind when that advert was on, prioritizing yourselves, prioritizing self-care and all of that. I'm just wondering how many women will take our time to, like, break that circle. Prioritize yourself. Come to this couples classic. Even though it's that couples classic, you can actually come alone. That's why you should be able to earn your own money and, you know, flex with it. That's one of the things you should indulge in. If you know they earn money, you know the answer. So just find time to come and unwind at the couples classic. I'm expecting you, Favor. And Dorcas, I'm also expecting you. All right, moving on. It's been said that women are the problems of women. But is it possible for a woman to help another woman to prioritize herself, prioritize self-care? Is it possible, Favor?
Very well.
How?
Very, very well. As women, we can prioritize ourselves and assist or help our neighbors, our fellow women, prioritize themselves.
How?
How? Counseling.
Okay.
You have a friend that is worked up. You just know that this person is just at the verge of breaking down. Talk the person out of that problem. You can help by counseling, encourage, motivate these persons. You know, whatever they are doing that they are doing right, praise them. Praise the little effort you see these people putting in. You know, don't join the male folks. Don't join other persons to castigate women. That's words. Women are enemies of women. In a lot of ways, you can look around in our society. Women, we have a way of fighting ourselves, and it's not the best. When you just bring an issue that concerns a woman to the media, you see women flocking in and, you know, they want to crucify her, crucify her. But in the midst of that, let's see the strength of every woman around us. Okay. And help uphold their strength. When you help the woman close to you uphold her strength, you know, you are helping prioritize that particular woman. And she starts seeing the gold in her and wants to cherish it and keep it. But at the time you join the cultural norms and everything to bring her down, she was like, if I go now, they will join my husband. If I go, they will say the husband is always right. So there's no need. But sometimes let's learn to tell ourselves the truth. Learn to encourage your fellow woman.
All right, thank you for that. Dorcas, you know, there are some women who are very busy. Very busy. Even when they are not working, they are busy. Doing house chores is not an easy task. Well, some persons see it as ordinary. Is it not just to do this or to do that? But it's a very serious business. So how can a busy woman fit into this self-care business that we have brought this afternoon to every woman out there? How can a busy woman whose schedule is very tight, how can she bring out time for that her tight schedule to enjoy prioritizing herself or to have that me time?
Okay. For that, I'll talk about SWOT analysis here. Know yourself. Know your strengths, your weakness, opportunities, and threats.
Okay.
So I will say we should take two here, which is this, your strengths and your opportunity. What are the things that you will do that will strengthen you, like I have earlier mentioned? So these are the things you should focus yourself in. How do you plan your day? What are the things that you do that gives you energy, that makes you to have joy and satisfaction? These are the things you should concentrate on. Then we talk about the opportunities. What are the opportunities out there? The opportunities that will make you to improve on yourself. The opportunity that will create the room for you, despite your busy schedule, to still have fun for yourself as a woman, that will in turn bring satisfaction to you. So you go for those opportunities in your busy schedule. You can say, oh, once in a week, this and these are the things I will be doing. I will be joining this conference. I will be holding this meeting that is going to take place. I will be attending this meeting. So by so doing, you are creating time for yourself. You are fulfilling your work as a woman. Despite your busy schedule, you also be able to cope all through. I mean, you make sure that both sides, no one suffers. You are able to give out that which is required of you to give out, and at the same time, you are able to satisfy yourself as a woman by knowing your strength.
Thank you, Dorcas. We're pressed for time. All right, Favor, what's your parting statement now, or parting sentence to our men who are watching this program, who have women who work from dawn to dusk without taking rest? What's their involvement in all of this? Because they must be involved.
Yes, they have to be involved.
It's just one sentence, please.
Our men, please encourage your women. Make them happy.
Okay.
A happy woman will prolong your life and make your children healthy children too.
Okay, Dorcas, what's yours?
The men should try as much as possible to support the women. Money is not everything. Words of encouragement, good words. Support them, acknowledging their strength, acknowledging their efforts, praising them in whatever thing they are doing to ensure that the family is moving and helping. When you give her, when you appreciate somebody, you are able to make her to do more for the family.
All right, thank you so much, Dorcas, for finding time to be with us on the program, despite all of that you told me earlier on. Don't worry, you'll be fine, okay? So get well as soon as you can. We'll miss you on the show. And Favor, thank you so much, too, for finding time to join us. We'll see you again very soon. Woman, prioritize yourself. Learn to breathe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is Anegbete community, situated in Isako Central Local Government Area of Edo State. It is an agrarian community with united people that promotes unity and oneness for peaceful coexistence. The inhabitants of the community migrated from Benin, the cradle of black civilization, a kingdom where king is truly king. The ancestors of Anegbete saw that age was the main determinant of leadership in the rural setting, and the eldest man in the settlement was regarded as the leader who presided over meetings, and his authority is held in high esteem. To further strengthen this unique system of leadership, age group evolved in Anegbete. In Anegbete, age group is categorized into two, that is, the common and the noble. Anegbete is rich in cultural heritage, as the community at noon saw the commitment of the festival with the first set roll out in beauty colors to showcase their might and strength, indicating their feet and ready for the responsibilities behold on them. The streets in the community with a feed up of young men and women adorned with the festival. Later, the royal family takes the stage as their children fight out royally and work in the community to showcase their might and fitness.
My leader.
ITV, certainly the best.
Waya bege now. Ugi bota we se ni wan. Edo lo pe o jo le wa ire. Wa na yi ma service. En ma agba kadere na ugi bota na. Okay ga ohoge. Ohoge. Ye na yoge ka. Ohoge we bi o mesia.
Agwa.
odole wuya
awa
odole waye
awa
eni ya ni wa weni no ba wa oge oku oni no bada oge a oku ani no we ba ewa ewu oge we no record we owe mwe ya ba oge police station ado mwe bo ya ye be dagbe e ma o ma gwa ka wo oge etan ni agun egun ayo wo oge na ore wa ge tan pastor kabanu na mo
ibe donogo me ofun igbo sabago waro wa bi chota wa bi dan ofun igbo sabago wa yaro oba atope
ise ore wa o tan ge ibizu gbe Victor
adonewu zomo ugewese ege no ya temata ima gbe na hina huda na teme mano manyamia arinu na rieme na tai mano ya eriri yori o ewuku ohoge de bi o mesi ohoge ima na bamaye oba atope
ise me sa boss again no be o no ri edo ba yo kai ki no be o ka gbo ibe o ya o ta mo ya fe worldwide me to wa ya fe so pe ni ya mo e lo wa me ti gun esi won na gbogbo eta gbogbo ege gbogbo eta mu lele otota mu fe asakasi yeye sakasi yeye loko zaye onde gala yiwe esowo kanso
iso oso ye gbe ikwan esowo da ya mo to wi so oso ye gbe ikwan oni lo ma pa ebo musu e mara we yeso mara yeso
ogwogwodo o yureso
anyone oge de mai ori aibo ogwo ma o si egbe koto weno we ta to we si we koto oni won so to nda oge no ba wa oge no ba no mu ba ma o me no ki egbewe ọma legbewe ihe ka bo ri ara o se gbiwe emi mi nu ka owó ge ma owó ge orílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà náà owó ge na wa ta orílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà náà owó ge na ta orílẹ̀ upe mi na ge iya de politics ige otose ge owó ge egi no na kotu na pa ola na owó ge no ko na pa ola na amami wo bo se emi no ma deru wa wo oge ema o te ve pastor
domosa
zebe pastor chewe hono owosa oge oye
domosa osa no wo do apagi to re ma unda gba ike don wa doge mane mana gbon ma se tin jo oge yi unda we si eke ni ma o mana si eke ni ana mi wo ma la tene ma ujaji so pa okobo o yeme na ta ma yi okobo ozuo be ne na gwa loto be ne na zi egbagbon ni egba okoto ni edo we ya gwa lote be na okobo ga heme o ga ye ko mu wa na gwa ka ezi egbe egba okoto Yesu we ga itu okobo be de agbe oba wa gbagba ogun anyoke ka na kota ana di pu yo to na wo kin ogbe ọmọ no gwa elobi na to oge ma ba so e de ga gbe ye igwa so ma okun ara yun ebe we ni ebe ba be mo ge damani ni ege ya yo bo no gba okoto o wa sun e wa mu yo mu gbera mu gbiri bo ma ni anya we a wo ki sunu da mi se abada o se no abada su ma ye so mate aro de mo me mate aro ma wanjo ne da do na la wa lobi e bo na mu yo mu re o e ko bo no ebe nwa ndo o me nwa ga eme ogba okoto ogwa loto nde me soro no no si ezo yu webwe odowa me uwebo seva uwebwe odion we kekebe okage loge uwebwe man awo seva da gbakoko ikin akugbe no no ligi ewa o me ga do teme ma we ugba okoto ugwa loto we nyu to lo ti o mani we lare o ma ka gume gwa ke na de ba yayi so osenegi awekin I osana gbada yin wegwe ose agbo gemi ne no mata mane igele gba akoto ri ogele no egbe mi ni malawo wo kiyan wani kiyan bo mi iko ma wa gu egun odo no soro yu wa eva uwepo ndo oge yin ebe soro na wa asa na baba no ya gwa lo oge do taba me egbe ma me ri o ga odio we ebo ive gu yo obo uga nogie ebo iligi yo obo uga odo no nya wa we uche ti yo ko pa yin unda we ke emi o ko oge ne uga mi oga mo kaka bo mo no no make na mi oligi oba atop pe
ese oge magwa ka ni wa oge ebi no ki e denja no kwa e no wa e no wewo e no wo tu oge aje hu ebi dan e no e ma ye e o teme bizugbe
eme na yurugu aka na ohoge ma no ba ma hoge na ba hoge salobo na egi ma mi em ohoge ebi o mesi okieke omo uho ema okieke omo hoge ema omo hoge esu no ekeni eriri la to zagawa zewe no teme kataban aga hasade ma so no ya to hoge aya okwa we iri ewe wa ye mana we ga ayo me ma wo ayi yin so nbo e de no ni se ti do to oge ma emi ni eho ni ehu ona ho ene o we yimi na ri epo oni wa bi agogo kan yire we ogba na yo oge gba to fan no kwa ogbe mata emi ro pa ti fan no o we yire wo kieke ohun oge e ma yeye ile mo na yin mi wa we amada we mu pogbon ga ye e ma ta gbogba ne dagbe do wan doge mi kina tan hu da we otewe yunu kan ban okobo agado tam we gwa lo to wa yin yan mami okobo wo mumu okobo ga iune onwanyo dane oyo ye yaku o mumu o se ti dolowo ma be yi e dolori gbe yi o ma no ye be ri o ese ti bu ese ti diabo ese ti yin se oba atokpe
anyway oge magwa kana oge do gwe oge re ewo enogi okun ewo deveni adu aka ma won ire we ewo doga we ojo we dan hama we gwa lo temo ku ya ika we ku ya we no aruwa oge ege ne de ni wa upo agbawe nu po gbana o me na ru we da de ezira no aru ebo no no ri aro de na ayo poru no e ba ni wa na fi anyo fi ya o wa no we ni emu ewo na ri ayo wo bo no we ni yo ko gwe ewo na fun o we ni ewo na e tin yo de agodi wa we no jon ya igba e ri anyo enika wa bere ewo na wa dole yin o pa no ko no we ni emu ria o we ni yo ko gu ma fe owe utoni makena owo ni yo ko ri awa owo ni ewo na emi ni oruso na ya bi ore woregbe uda we ga ya re ihe ni elegbe we wi e nu ta he o meti we ne reso egbe kunie noka no giver no ge ya se unie wo kwara we ogbe o we mi na we uligi to so egbe ma mi ya ne we ebi no ki oge ema edole woyi edolo deyi edole ropa yi oge no owo no ba won oge na ge no orun ai awo ma ko eri eku ame ona ti ona gi eku a o so wa ni egbe no ba oge
owe no ma ti ebo to ti uki
o ti uki mo oge ki o te pastor ge domo we ki ane oge magun aka
mo oge magun aka bo si oge
o ya ya wo na
ya le to ko pa bebi no wan bo si oge o ma no ma we mo e gwa no awe we aga no na o eji no onu ya no kwo ye ba no ya la o igbovo ojo ma to oge dama e to ma ni na mi we e ba ni ma keke amo ye ba na mo ma be yo o sa no do han no eze ba so pe ku we no we gbe e fo ko pa ga re bi no wan okwo na ni a sokme bi no wa ma ka igbe aza no sokme e ma no hu e do ba e Kristi ina ju gbe mo bo iya wi amu e wo alamo re dado wa ko na bi alamo re ugbugba fi lo gbe no wu e Jesu yana no so de ma fi gbegbe a ni ma fi gbegbe o magun ya gun nda ye okobo no ta okesora imowu Jesu na gbun koto won no se na gbun koto we no ka o won o pa we mu re wo we mu adamu re eyin abo pi agba du ekini bada ki miere no pi agba wa mu re be na miewe de ku wa kariere da ho na
we no pa ma we ho
o de ku wa kariere da ho na wa ga nyunyi me no wa yin na no pi ani igba we wo o na pa yo to bo wa gbalamo re ona wa mu egbe e wo ona we no pi ani agba we wo na Jesu ke ye we eneni atara o ge ruwe o yo okobo o yo okesun ga mo Jesu yi jogi ati no nya ni matu gbegbe ma no wo to wa nwa owo na la mo go na mi o wa we na we yen na ga o yo o de bogi tuhumu ona we uwa ya fe no bi gbe mo bona no do gwan na de no ma e wo horu uwa ya fe we no fi gbe no ka ona na go na no pa na re no pa yana ko ari gbe yo toto ona de oto na no to Jesu na gbe mbu ko to o ge se pe ya je amagi ye mi kian ama iwo won ni yo ana we o ge na we ona ibo ni no ko na we e ma no ju gbe yasu we si ma wo o ko na be tu mo wi o ge no parapa ire ma no nyama Jesu na we ahia e yi we do be ona we ya bo ori ko ni ya pa o ma ga bo ma o ge do ta ma we kakabo we o ma no ku we go no o ka we bo ma ni e mo o ge bana ni etemo na bi kuya eva ka ye nu we ya oyi owe imaya yi ogwale bi no ya va egbe babe ni no oge ijo egbe okobo no ta e chema we here we ga okobo ojo we here we ga agwalo teni uke ga yin be ri oke ke ga re uru ati ima hu da mi samada so ri o wa do ba igbi no fi ahore mame mi na wa oge mata no ire ba mu igbino fi ana mu ye pupo ni keke ire ni e ba o we do ran iya kin no tebo na fo we ka gwalo temi ne o ke ga kare ri we oba atokpe yi
se eni wa ege be kan bwane oge e magwa kana we no ka ele no do aro ni no ro na we ka ba ma oge elebe do la wa we ka ba oge ko do la eri o wa be ba we oge
eri o wa no
suda oni wa enwa ni enwe de uma ka ba ma oge we na we anado aba we enika o waka se enwe abe nika o tima na yeri o wa si no wa se wa ge aro so pa iye soro be wa wo kagele ya wa ezezo no uwa do mewe ni nwan ni wa ge ebi masin abo otona kin uwa ga o se so boa opolo loso na boa ari ene so a e ma so video o wa we do o we a de ni aru ya ya be ni e jo to se na o we ri egwa o eni a wa iwo na o ya ru emi so o ya la to na ma de mu ne o ya mu hie o wa we fie be la dia o ge na ba ma e o wa we si eni wa na me we ne ma na do so bi aba e wo na na ba gbo oge e wo ni eduna egbe ya fe na hie owo ebe aro ebe ka di ro ati ebe etisa ro gidan ri aki o logo kwa ya ba gbo oge iya ni eyan we muye police station se pe ni akata si eyan ezozo oro ezo ga we re wo berio awe gwa lo to e ni wan ezo na wo ya fo ake aladi ayo awe le hu na wewo le so se wa no ikerori akin o ezu loko no ezu ka no aro to no awe dio no ebi ni maya ke awe do we ne de wa egwu ita o no
o da jaji
we o ma egwu ro po ma egwu o ta gbo ya fe no ina gwi ro awa mi e wo na ma mi wa ite ikeferi o no kin eri ni no yegu gbina do na wo ko ye wo ane hu no wa ho ane hu no mo oge ne ma ba ma emi ya fe verio e ma ni wa ave ejon we ni makabe ta we no we karele o ma esu egbe o karele ya ken lo to ken lo kun we ojo we ma esu egbe oba ma won ya ken lo to ya ken lo kun o fi oye po wa ye edagbon won uda we ma mo oba uda mat oge we adota emi ni uwe bene mota wa kia do wogele wa so egbe obusi wa heme no bata ni wa uda moi na aro nebe ma agbohia wa be bege Solomon ge na duna ni ma oye na no duna ni ma ni wa ma ne hu yi duna o duna ni ma ya wala wo wa re ibagbo oge ma eye wure ni otame disugbe
kene ho ni riete bo oge we ma ya ka mo he ba anawe emene mata o wana ri ba oge bo ke kenu bedo o na ge na ave fi tagbo nu akayem na bedo o ene do ya gwa lo to e do ho ta dege mata ta no ga ulame na ya mo eme na ihe ba awe ma yulame ara me wa ba wa oge asien tumanika neru ọba osa baba yemena iyebora owe no mati ebo oge ti uki mama wa na ba oge owe na ya hewe gbo owe no ya we me agbon ile ma tu abeteme ni re ekabetu wa ge oge gwegbe yin wa ye mata gwegbe yin na mi kin na to na mi gbe ahen aro ebo ni odo dagme odo hen ọba atọpẹ
oge ke sin la edagbon ma mu dabe no timata e bange Victor Ibizugbe oge sin oge be guoge edagbon ma oguoge igiowa we ga ta uga ligi we ga gogo owe you kodo zuo o ka ge yin agbewi agbe o ma ikene na gbe wa e o ga be so igbe o se gbogi o wa edobe we ga done igu toge ya mo mani yukpore unda mani ya iyo we bo mi bo gbe bo e na ma mi agbede o ga pa bare ba wa itabona ya mo ene we age wa
you be varo
o teme o ga ya to mani no o ga to mausa o ga to maso o ga to mavan o ga to ma obi ode o ga to ma da o we owe no matie bon ora tiuki ke no vie you we ko ameve no vie you we gbe ni iyen no sanogo doa igagele opa eva e o pe mi no ko na ta na iyen opa ora ito ni ma ya ka we ayame no ene wa obo wa yopin yo ene ori o rada bo ta lo kan na so ro wa ta lo kan ku do ge na mu ba eyin ni ga dan ni o eme soro ovieve ogun alade amunu onude mi egbo ogun ezira agbon me yimi no runwe ra ni e dani o iya de do ka kine we iye go oge we ari ba e we no lele o ka ge le kian we no rebo we no we na ye mo eji e we kin o ni we nu de mi nu wu atake aso ba lo yo ma gbe okeke ma nu da iye ni gare o ga gbo agbe mo eme soro baba no ri yen ni me wa yen obezebe unyime no wake no egbo ka gelo oyin ni ware o mamudi anu yen wu ne ona ka sun be gbo mo obi ona ya kinke ona be la no giver ona ya kin anye o ona la no gia ona ya kin no zuwa ne ya ke ibesa yera gbono ba mi yina ba mi o ba lo ni ona ba mogi o wa ware ayo egbe ona ye meso kin o mene no ma o pa eva wi ga gele ebe soro be no timakata be ene nwa sinwe ọmọ na duye ona wiyemi emi na ga ikobo ye ga lu emi enara ore igisen ya gwa lo to ye ga gele opa eva be mi no wuna owe ge ni o ma ni mi egbe na la wowo we ge ga gogo we si o balo ye dagbon wa no de okeke o ho ma oba ga to pe
anyway ya iwe owori e magwa kana e mo oge ye e ma ye ba ma oge Mudan weba ogi. Enya he we waso enya we wa pa. Nu ta o akin odo akin odugbo. Owe ka ba ogi.
Ira
opa e ba. Owe no gbe na dege. Owa mi o ha etu e. Oni ebo ri to e ba. Bono to. Ukpo 1944 1942 na dege epo ra gbe lege iro de atokana epo ra gbe ye ko gba ona o ise gbopo yana se yo igbo ise gbobodo ide o ma ipa gbe iye ire ona wo ti en wa gbe omo na ona du kuse la ime wa mi e ba re motor ye kere wege ni o wa kipo oto ebe me o wa kipo ke ya ona wa vie ma motor àwọn ọ̀bọ̀wọ́ èyí àṣẹ àánà yìí àṣẹ ọ̀wọ̀ náà gbé náà dẹ́rẹ́ àmì àwọn ètò mẹ́ o èwọ́rí ètò mẹ́ bá mú dẹ́bọ̀ náà tó èníwọ̀n ọmọ náà mú òrè bàwẹ̀ èrè òye ó bà náà àtìyẹn náà o ó má bà náà o èmi ni wọ́n tá máa tọ́sọ̀ máa ní ègbé ẹ̀ mà náà yà bò rẹ̀ bà wọn òrè ọ̀tá rẹ̀ bá bò bá èyí àrọ̀ ni wọ́n ẹ̀ èmi náà sí ẹjọ́ owó dé sábàlẹ́gì gíà síwá òde kè. òṣèré ni èmọ̀ ni màá bí ẹlẹ́rìí yìn ní àmà ẹ̀ ọ̀yìn máa tẹ́ nínú ayáfẹ́ máa wà náà pàtẹ́ náà dé ka ẹ̀mọ́ tọ̀ nẹ́ náà dé ka ayáfẹ́ èmi náà amárú ó wà mọ́ ẹ̀bà ẹ̀ àdùn àgbọ̀ wọn ní ibà ẹ̀ ọ̀ ẹ̀ mà èbè náà ọ̀fìẹ́ mà níkà ọ̀fìẹ́ mà gbọ̀n ọ̀fìẹ́ mà yìí ìrónì tó bọ̀ ẹ̀yà bueno to ge ni o no ka dekunwe e do ni wa e ma ma na mo gi bota o de na yuto o saro bola o adam ko he na e Nigeria ya fe o saro bola edo wa ma la o da wa ni gbe mara saro bola ge gbe ran wa wa no do e ki wa idu e ki musa wa me iwe gbedo ọba atope
ITV, certainly the best.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, ọba àtọpẹ.
The Oba of Benin added a colorful mood to the year's celebration as he walks round the city center amidst cheers.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, guys, it's another lovely Monday evening, and it's my pleasure to have you join me on yet another beautiful episode of the Guys Hangout Show on independent television, reaching you live from that city of bronze. You know, I love to call it that city where the king is truly king. Now, for starters, the Guys Hangout Show is one show that, teaches men to prioritize themselves and, of course, to be the best that they can be, just so that they can give the best that they can give. It airs on this station every Monday. All right, my name is Harry Aigboje, and of course, it's my pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the show. Now, today, we're going to be taking a look at a very, very important topic, something that actually caught my attention of recent. Okay, you know, sometimes you're just going about your daily activities and then you just, you know, for a second, certain things just cross your mind and you begin to ask yourself, what has actually changed? What has gone wrong? How come things are no longer the way they used to be? And one of such things is the growing lack of parental discipline in our society as we have it today. What exactly went wrong? Whether you like it or not, you must have noticed that things are no longer the way they used to be, especially between parents and their kids. Those days when we were growing up, some of us had this reverence for our parents, right? Even in their absence. There were things we're not bold enough to do, we're not courageous enough to do, even in their absence, because of, you know, the kind of discipline that they gave us, right? So, for instance, I remember as a kid, I used to live within my boundaries as a child, right? I was not allowed to go to the next compound. Now, that was how I was raised. Not because my parents didn't like me, like us being free, but they just wanted to ensure that, you know, we lived within the boundaries that they set for us. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there can also relate. Now, if you take a look at the parents of today, it doesn't seem to be like that anymore, right? A lot of parents seem to be more flexible in raising their children. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? My name is Harry Agboje once again, and it's my pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the show. Now, like you already know, I'm not alone. I've got an amazing person in the house with me, and together we're going to be taking a look at this topic. Now, he is an educationist and also, you know, a social analyst. He's really passionate about lots of things that are happening around us, and he loves to share his wealth of wisdom and experience on such matters. It's good to have you, Abu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harry. And as usual, it is good to be on the show today again. It is always a pleasure talking about issues that concerns us in society, especially issues like this, where if we keep quiet, things will get deteriorated and it will get out of hand.
True.
So, yeah, no, bad things try because good men decide to keep quiet.
Absolutely.
So we must say something.
Definitely, we must say something, and that's basically why we're here. I mean, we really can't help not to say something, all right? Now, we're going to be taking a look at this issue as we begin to look at it one after the other, right? Okay. Let's look at it from this angle. Parenting is serious business, right? And I don't think a lot of parents realize that, a lot of parents of this generation, because there seems to be this trend of people just giving birth without recourse to the responsibility of taking care of those children. So let's start from there. Why would anybody want to, you know, start having kids without, you know, considering what it will take and what it will cost, you know, to take care of those children?
Yeah, procreation is one biological gift that God and nature has given to humans. Okay. So anybody can, any adult who has gotten to a certain stage can procreate, except he or she has a medical condition. Okay. But procreation is not a yardstick to be called a parent. So we have so many fathers and mothers who are not parents. Being a parent means you are ready for the job after birth. Birthing a child is your God-given talent or God-given gift.
Your natural ability.
That natural ability. But the idea of training this child, parenting, is a full-time job. I say full-time job because it's one thing that people just overlook, and because of that they think because they are fathers they could be called parents. No. We have so many fathers but few parents. So it's because of these few parents that we have in society that you see there is a growing lack of discipline in terms of parenting and all that. So I think the few parents that we have, if you see their children outside, you can distinguish them from those that have fathers and just mothers. So I think we should be seeing this thing from the idea of who are parents, to be precise. Okay. A parent is that person who is a father or a mother and has indulged herself into the act of bringing up this child. You know, children, the mind of a child is like a tabula rasa. Whatever you imprint on that mind is what goes a long way to determine what the child will become in life or how the child will behave and all that. But we really have people imprinting these things on the mind of the child. That is the question.
I think that's $1 million question, because this is one question I believe a lot of parents do not ask themselves before they begin to procreate. Like you've rightly established, there's a clear difference between procreation
there is.
And parenting. Yeah. And I think that's what we need to begin to establish. What exactly is it with parents of nowadays? You know, just like I said in opening, you know, when we were growing up, it was a different ball game, right?
Yeah.
We were raised with a very high level of discipline. So much so that parents of this generation will probably see that as you being too hard on your child.
Okay.
Now, what's the place of discipline in parenting? Let's begin.
Yeah, there are different factors that I think I will tie to this lack of parental discipline. Number one, the infiltration of Western culture into our traditional belief and norms. Secondly, we also have this idea of laziness on the part of some people who call themselves, I use the word who call themselves parents, laziness on their part. And thirdly, there is this idea of the growing new normal, where people advocate that children should be treated with, like adults, they should be treated with kids and gloves and all that, so that you not hurt them, and so after all, they are human beings. So, but let me start with this infiltration of Western culture into our traditional culture. Now, you see, the white men asked us at the time to marry a fellow man, a woman marry a fellow woman. Many of us did not dispute it. Some African countries are already doing that. They also asked us to wear the suit, the sleeve, the waistcoat, the tie, and all that, despite our hot weather. Many of us did not also dispute that fact. Okay. And we are doing it. But very recently, they are also asking us to treat a child as an adult. And so many parents have started, many fathers and mothers have started treating their child, their children, as adults. That's the problem. They want to train them in the Western way. They want their children to see themselves as adults. They are rushing them through that childhood. They don't want them to enjoy that childhood. They don't want them to see themselves as children. That state of innocence is no longer there. A child that just here, you call that child that you want to reason with the child like an adult. What's his reasoning capacity in the first place? My brother, what is the rationale behind you sitting a child down to say, let's discuss? You are just 4 now. And who told you that a 4 years old is thinking like an adult already? It's not. I know many will say this is a computer age and jet. Leave that computer age and jet. Children are children. And most of how were we brought up? We were told that if you misbehave, I will flog you. I have so many parents in my area. My father was not just my father. Yes, he was my biological father, but I have so many fathers. Before my father even come back from his workplace, someone else have disciplined you if you misbehave and all that. Do we still have such in our society? No. You see, everybody wants to say my family.
So you're saying that in those days there was a communal mindset?
A communal mindset. All parents were parents, and all children were children to all parents. Now, these days, you see families saying, you don't touch my child, I know how to discipline my child, you leave this child for me to discipline and all that. So that's why we're getting children are going haywire. Some of them are even going gaga. You know, some of the hairstyle that a 10-year, 11-year-old will put on, you begin to wonder, is this one coming from a home? You see some young girls out there, 11, 10, some of the things they will wear, like, does this one even have fathers and mothers at home? So the issue now is we are drinking too much from this cup of Western wine. I think we should come back home. We should come back to this African tradition. We are Africans. And in Africa, there is discipline intrinsically buried in our totemic mindset. It is in our subconscious. That discipline should be resurrected. That parents should see themselves as not just parents, but as role models, as disciplinarians. Correct these children when need be. Don't reason with a child. It gets to a certain stage, you reason with him, not at this stage. It is some of those things that you imprint on him when he was still a child that will model him into a very good adult. A good child definitely will become a good adult.
Absolutely.
Now, when you lead them, you think they can think of themselves. What you fail to tell them, their friends out there will tell them. And that is what we should avoid. So that idea of Western culture, I think we should come back home. Beside that, sir, this idea of laziness on the part of parents. They think now that you already have a child. So if you can provide for this child, you are performing the work of a parent already. The provision we are talking about here is not just finance. Many of them thought it's just finance. He's attending a very good school, I can provide. If he wants to buy anything, I can give him more. No. Emotionally, psychologically, this child needs you. Morally, you should be there for him. Who are his friends? Do you even know his friends? What are his routine? How does this child carry out his daily activity? You should be your child's best friend. You should have a roundtable talk most times with him. You should be able to tell him, if you try that, I will flog a lot of you and he will not try it. Don't let him see himself like an adult already. You hardly even see children these days bathing outside. And someone said it's civilization. I think they know too much.
Okay.
Their parents make them know too much.
So why did I say they've gone past the phase of innocence?
You see that state of innocence? It has been killed. every child now, the parents have been able to inculcate in them that they are no longer children, but they are now what? Adults. And there is no way a child can behave like an adult. He will be an adult in a wrong form. So let these children grow. Correct them. Discipline them. Be a disciplinarian. You don't rub men with a child of 5.
Okay. Now, you've actually said a lot. Now, talking about the infiltration of Western culture, just recently I saw a video on Facebook of this American comedian, a veteran comedian, Steve Harvey, he was actually interviewing a kid, a 5-6-year-old girl. So he was asking her why she liked her brother, why she loved her brother. And she was saying, well, she loves her brother because, her big brother, of course, because he's always there to protect her and to comfort her when, her parents whooped her. And then, of course, the crowd, reacted in laughter and all of that. Now, I went through the comments as usual, and I saw a lot of persons asking questions, and a lot of people, complaining that it was totally out of place for the parents to, whoop her or to discipline her. And, of course, it became a debate as usual. Now, that pretty much reminds me of something. The fact that this is also becoming a major issue in this part of the world, whether or not to discipline a child. Because some people see the use of corporal punishment as a sign of hatred for the child. That how can you, use corporal punishment for a child that you love? So they see it as, you doing too much. They believe you shouldn't use corporal punishment on your child, that there are other ways. Just like you said, some of them believe you can reason with your child. But how do you reason with a child whose mind is not even matured enough to, look at things from that perspective? I think what we have is actually a problem, because people want to mistake smartness, intellectual exposure to maturity. Yeah. And I think that's a problem. I would like you to speak in that regard.
You see, words get their meaning from their context.
Okay.
What they call maltreatment in a particular context, in another context might be called discipline.
Discipline.
So when that person say you are hitting that child too hard, you're beating this child and all that. But I think in the right context, when it comes to my child or any other child, child around me, you should use that right word, discipline. We were once children, sir. They did not kill us.
Of course not.
We are what we are today because of how our parents decided to straighten our life. At least our parents are not beasts. They know what they are doing. You don't expect a mother who gave birth to a child to kill that child with her own ends, except she's maniacally derailed and all that. Yeah. When children are being disciplined with love, you can discipline a child with love. There is no need you bringing in ideas of you are abusing the child rights and all that. He is a child, for God's sake. The reason why you are saying I am abusing his right because you want to protect that child. The reason why I even discipline that child is to protect the child also. Now, this is what the government are fighting against, is that you should not abuse, assault a child. Discipline will get to an extent, becomes an assault.
So that's where we need to draw the line now. At what point does discipline become an assault?
When you begin to inflict serious pains,
bodily harm
on this child, it is not an assault.
Okay.
When you are not correcting the child with love, it becomes an assault. When you are doing it with hatred, it becomes an assault. When you forget the fact that this person is still a child, it becomes an assault. But when you are doing it in the circumstances of these things I'm saying, like he's a child, I want to correct him with love, he's my child, and all that, that is discipline. And we should not rule out discipline because some persons are misusing it. I know I am not in line with so many parents or guardians who have decided to inflate pains on children because you want them to listen. No, that is beyond discipline. Okay. That is now an assault. That is now an hatred. That is now a corporal punishment. And if I ask my child to kneel down there, for example, or get a cane and give my child 2 or 3 strokes of the cane for doing something wrong, next time he will not try it. But if you now give a punishment that is more than that child to that child, then it becomes an assault.
An assault, okay.
You're asking a child, for example, you get pepper, rub on the child's body, or give the person some scars, marks, and all that. No, that is wicked and that is evil. But you're asking the child to kneel down there, or get a cane, flog this child 5 3 or more, as the case may be, and after all this, call the child, next time, don't try it. I am your father, I love you, and that's why I'm doing this. I hope you will not try it next time. Such a child will not try it. But you're not letting the child know the reason why you have flogged him or disciplined him and all that. It is hatred.
Hatred.
So we should draw the line between discipline and hatred. So I am not advocating for that idea of that battering, that corporal punishment.
Yeah.
I am saying we should not rule out the fact that these children are still children. And children have a mindset that is as clean as a tabula rasa. So we have to imprint something that they will take up into becoming a very good adult.
I guess that's why the Holy Book says that you should train up your child in the way he should go, that when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right, guys, it's still the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television. Just in case you're just joining us, we're talking about the decline in discipline, parental discipline. What has gone wrong? What exactly is the problem? Why is it that, kids are no longer as disciplined as before? Why is it that kids nowadays can just do whatever they want without, their parents or a parental figure, putting them in check? Now, Abu, just a moment ago, you were talking about the difference between correcting in love and correcting, in hatred, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's no longer uncommon to see children just walking past an adult without greeting. And that was actually one of the things that we were taught as, children. And that was exactly one of those values that we grew up with, which is why we cannot see someone who's older than us now
and not greet.
Don't you think that's also a function of this lack of discipline?
The dysfunctionality of the society, that's one of the factor, one of the things we got from the dysfunctionality in the society. Why did I say so? I just told you not quite long that all parents were parents to all children. An elder can call you back and say, so you don't know how to greet. Where are you from? You say, I'm sorry, sir. Good morning, sir. Or in my dialect, you greet according to your family lineage, and you must do that. That's how we grow up. But these days, many parents have restricted themselves from doing that. Before someone else will come somewhere and say, don't talk to my child, it's my child, I know how to train my child and all that. So that communal nature is no longer there. And you can see, that is just a microcosm of the larger one. You could see, apart from this idea of greeting, you could see children, they hardly even get up from the seat for an elder to sit, if that's you listen to many.
That's another dimension to it.
Now, you see some of them, they are very disrespectful. They have begun to euphemize what we call disrespect. You see some of them will say savage reply. What you might want to call obscenity,
I think that's one of the effects of
stupidity, social media.
Yeah.
You see some of them will say, there's a new one now, we listen, we don't judge.
That's not even good.
They are indirectly promoting children to go haywire.
Go wild.
They are promoting this idea of you can always do whatever you want to do. And they are promoting immorality.
And the question we should even be asking is, what do we call judge in this context? Judging is discipline. Discipline we're talking about.
It is a discipline they want to eradicate.
When a child does something wrong, you're supposed to discipline that child.
So you say
but to children of this generation,
you listen, you don't judge. I will judge, you say, you listen, you don't judge. Besides that, sir, you see, when these children were growing up, they were given this orientation that I am your father, I am your mother, I am the only person, I should be the only person that has the moral right to discipline you. And that's bad. Let these children know that all parents in this vicinity are your parents.
Even adults.
Even adults.
Not
they
necessarily
have the
parents.
right to discipline you in my absence. When I was growing up, something happened. I went home to tell my father that a teacher has flogged me in school. He said, okay, the next morning we'll go. He followed me to school. And when we got there, he took the cane himself and flogged me again right in front of the teacher. These were adults in unity. Adults having a meeting over me that I don't even know about. Their primary aim then was, this child must not go wayward. Now that I am an adult, I used to think like, okay, could it be the reason why my dad have to flog me again? You know, that sends a message. The message was, you are safe in his hands and don't misbehave because I'm your father. I'll flog you again. But these days, we've seen parents that will follow their children to school. and start constituting nuisance. Some of them will not even ask. You'll be telling your child right from the home that your teacher will die today. You are giving that child an impression that he or she can disrespect
an elder
and get away with it. And your mother will always fight for you. You are creating a small problem that will blossom into a bigger one in society tomorrow. A child you couldn't discipline today will end up in prison. And they'll start crying. Discipline your child. Teach these children societal value. The values, one of the values that will hold tenaciously to in Africa is respect. They should be respectful. Leave this idea of we are in a civilized world, this is a computer age. And in America, you don't touch a child like that, they'll call the police on trust Nigeria police. Okay. They'll be very quick to tell you, no, it's not like that. You must respect your parents and all that. So that is one of the factors. Okay. Though there are other factors. There are factors that we have this single motherhood and fatherhood. Yeah. It's also a contributing factor.
Broken homes.
A broken home. Now, if a child is coming from a broken home, that parental care, love will not be there. Of course, it's not easy for one person to train up a child.
Okay.
You need a father figure, you need a mother figure, and this person is not there. Definitely, it will affect the child's psychology, and that will metamorphose into an adult that will be antisocial,
okay,
or that will be maladjusted in society.
All right.
So that is another angle.
Okay, once again, it's the Guys Hangout Show, and tonight we're taking a look at the issue of the lack of parental discipline. What has gone wrong? What is the difference between the way it used to be and the way it is now? Now, Abu, in closing, I just wanted to give a word of advice to parents out there who are not living up to expectation in terms of disciplining their child. Those who think, letting their child get away with everything they do is a sign of love. What's your advice for them? In less than,
They shouldn't be just a father or a mother.
Okay.
They should be parents. And parenting is not an easy job.
Okay.
If you are capable of giving birth to a child, you should be able to parent, take good care of that child. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to discipline your child.
Don't be scared to discipline your child. I guess that's the parting word for tonight. I want to say a big thank you to you, Abu, for taking out
thank you, my brother.
Time to be with us on the show today. And of course, to every one of you out there who have created time to be with us. I hope you've taken something away from tonight's discourse. Of course, the most important thing to take away from this is parenting is serious business. All right? So the moment you decide to become a parent, just have it in mind that the future of that child lies in your hands. If that child is going to grow up to become a responsible person, it's totally up to you. And of course, it's up to the adults that child is surrounded by. So another thing that Abu said in the course of his analysis is that parenting doesn't just end with you as a parent. You should also give the adults around your child the responsibility of raising your child, just like it was in the olden days. Don't have this mindset that you are the only one who has the responsibility of taking care of that child. My name is Harry Igboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do ensure you do the right thing and stay out of trouble. Do have yourself a lovely night rest.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.